The Odyssey drifted into the gleaming expanse of the Galactic Empire's orbital station, its hull reflecting the swirling gas of a nearby star in streaks of molten gold and violet. Commander Harris fiddled with his tie, a gesture that seemed almost comical in the vast silence of space, while the rest of the crew tried to act dignified despite the occasional squeak of zero-gravity boots. "Remember," Harris muttered, "we're humans. We've got charm, wit, and cookies. That's basically diplomacy in a nutshell." Lieutenant Vega raised an eyebrow. "Cookies? Really?" Harris shrugged. "It's worked on Earth cats. Probably works on aliens too." They were met by her then, the alien woman whose form suggested human familiarity, yet her long ears rose like delicate antennae, catching every sound, every hesitation, and twitching when amused. She tilted her head, a smirk tugging at the corners of her lips, as if she had been waiting just to watch humans stumble through first contact. She gestured elegantly, inviting them to follow, and Vega whispered, "She's beautiful and slightly terrifying." Another crew member whispered back, also judging us. As they moved through corridors that shimmered with hovering lights and shifting panels, the humans accidentally triggered a holographic projection of Earth, spinning and wobbling in all directions. The alien woman's ears flicked sharply, and then, unexpectedly, she laughed. A clear, melodic sound that sent Harris nearly toppling backward, distracted by the sheer absurdity of his own clumsiness. The crew joined in reluctantly at first, then with growing abandon, laughing at the wobbling hologram and the ridiculousness of trying to act formal when gravity and pride seemed determined to betray them. She tried to explain the council's protocol in a voice that was soft, yet carried a hint of dry humor. "Think of it less like politics," she said, "more like interpreting cloud shapes while juggling plasma orbs." Harris tried to picture this and failed spectacularly, prompting another round of laughter from the alien woman, whose ears twitched with delight. The humans realized then that their awkward jokes, their clumsy gestures, even their panicked attempts at dignity were not failing. They were connecting. Somehow, in a galaxy of endless stars and impossible technology, humor had become the bridge, and laughter the universal language of first contact. The corridor opened into a vast chamber, full of softly glowing panels and floating banners, and the alien woman stopped, letting her gaze sweep over them. Harris swallowed, trying to remember his own advice about charm and cookies, and realized that nothing, no briefings, no simulations, could have prepared him for the absurd, magnificent, chaotic delight of meeting an empire that welcomed not perfection, but the audacity of being human. The humans followed the alien woman down a twisting corridor that seemed to fold in on itself, the walls pulsing with soft neon veins of energy. Her ears twitched with every turn, picking up the faint hum of a gravity engine and the occasional squeak from someone's boots. "Watch your step," she said, voice lightly teasing, "or you might end up orbiting the floor instead of walking on it." Lieutenant Vega muttered something about the Empire having a cruel sense of humor, and the alien woman laughed, her long ears quivering like twin sails catching wind. Harris tried to step carefully but tripped on an invisible panel, nearly sending a floating coffee cup spinning into the ceiling. "Graceful as ever," the woman commented, tilting her head. Harris bowed slightly, only for Vega to point out that in zero gravity, it looked more like a slow-motion tumble. They arrived at the cafeteria, a space where tables floated like small islands and drinks hovered in tiny magnetic bubbles. The humans fumbled to grab utensils, causing a cascade of floating pancakes and coffee streams. The alien woman's ears twitched faster now, laughter bubbling from her lips as she waved a hand and stabilized the chaos with a ripple of glowing energy. "Humans," she said, her tone both amused and affectionate. "You turn even sustenance into a performance art." As they moved on, she explained the Empire's systems of governance with casual jokes interwoven. "Imagine 10,000 planets arguing over who gets the best spice, then multiply it by a black hole," she said, smirking. Harris tried to visualize it, and Vega muttered something about not wanting to be the one arguing over black hole spice allocations. At one point, the humans attempted to teach her human humor, showing old Earth comedy clips on a holoscreen. The room fell silent as alien council members blinked in puzzlement, and then the woman's melodic laugh broke through. She clutched her long ears and tilted back her head, the sound filling the chamber, and soon the humans were laughing too, not at the clips, but at the sheer absurdity of cross-species comedy. They floated past gardens that defied gravity, streams of liquid metal winding through levitating flowers, and Vega marveled at a fountain that sprayed colors rather than water. The alien woman nudged him with her elbow, whispering, "They said humans wouldn't get this, but here you are, still managing to amuse everyone." Harris tried to act dignified but ended up juggling a holographic apple that slipped from his hand, prompting another round of laughter from everyone. By the time they reached the observation deck, humans and aliens alike were sharing jokes, discovering that humor, gravity-defying pastries, and glowing ears could be enough to forge the beginnings of trust in a galaxy that had seemed impossibly vast and intimidating moments before. The humans stood at the center of the Empire's ceremonial hall, a vast chamber suspended in zero gravity, where ribbons of light twisted like liquid rain around the ceiling. The alien woman floated beside them, her long ears quivering as if each movement of light and gravity tickled some hidden sense. "Welcome," she said, voice laced with humor, "to the grandest awkward human performance you'll ever give." Harris forced a bow, forgetting the subtle art of zero-G gestures, and Vega nearly collided with a hovering banner, eliciting a soft trill of laughter from the alien council. The ceremony began with a flourish of floating orbs, their cores flickering in harmony with the alien music. Harris realized he had to speak, to represent humanity, and yet his voice shook, not from fear, but from the ridiculousness of floating ribbons and twirling lights. He tried a joke about humans being experts at stumbling through situations, and to his astonishment, the alien council erupted in melodic laughter. Even the stoic elders with translucent robes smiled, their eyes twinkling in the light. The alien woman clapped, her long ears brushing against the glow of an energy ribbon, and whispered, "See? Humor is diplomacy's secret weapon." A sudden technical hiccup sent the lights flickering in an accidental aurora, and floating decorations collided gently with the humans. Chaos ensued in slow motion, pancakes from yesterday's cafeteria lingering midair as if mocking gravity itself. Instead of panic, everyone laughed, the humans and aliens together, improvising dances in zero gravity, throwing themselves into a shared absurdity that bonded them beyond words. Harris realized then that the journey had changed him. The obsession with protocols and perfection that once weighed on him had been replaced with a fluid understanding that trust, connection, and laughter were far more powerful. As the auroras faded and the ceremony concluded, the alien woman guided the humans to a viewing balcony, where the Empire's endless stars stretched infinitely. Harris looked out and saw not a galaxy to conquer or fear, but a web of beings capable of humor, curiosity, and wonder. The humans had arrived timid, overthinking each gesture, each word, and now they left with laughter etched into memory, understanding that bridging worlds was not an act of perfection, but of openness. The alien woman's ears twitched one last time, her expression warm and knowing, and Harris felt a quiet pride. Humans had stumbled, fumbled, and laughed their way into the heart of the Galactic Empire, leaving behind fear and taking with them a connection that would endure light years and generations.